Hey guys, today is our last day of learning for this chapter. We are doing circles in a coordinate plane. So things we need to know. We need to know where the center is and what the radius is. That's essentially what we're going to do. So here's the equation. Now it looks like a lot of letters. I promise you it's not. It's not this bad. Essentially, we need to find where our center is in the x value and in the y value, and then find our radius. We're going to work on that on example 1. So what this is saying is that the center of my equation is 5, -2, and then my radius is 7. So what we have to do is the equation for a circle is always x minus wherever it is my x value, and square that, plus y minus whatever my y value is. So if you forget x and y, x is alphabetically first, it comes first here. And that is equal to my radius squared. Now we've got to clean this up a little bit. You might have been able to automatically see that this is a plus. So we end up with our equation being x minus 5 squared plus y plus 2 squared is equal to 7 squared, or 49. Let's write 49. So don't forget, keys to this are you have to know which one's your x and y, and we're always subtracting, which is why I wrote it as minus the -2. And I'm going to continue to do that. Let's look at our next one. It still is just giving me the center of the circle and giving me the radius. So I'm going to take my x value minus whatever my x is, plus y minus whatever y is equal to whatever my radius is squared. That looks disastrous. I promise you, still not that bad though. So we know that a negative times a negative is a positive. So this becomes x plus 2 squared plus, again, these become plus y plus 1 squared. The square root of 2 times the square root of 2, you should know that that's just 2. So see, not nearly as disastrous. Now the next one, I'm going to give you a point, and then we're going to have to find the radius. We're just finding the distance. We're finding the distance from the center to the edge. And distance formula, I know it's your favorite. You might want to write right now, take a minute and write down both the distance formula for the radius and your equation for the center of a circle. Both of those, or give yourself a problem so that you can see how to write it in. So take one moment, push pause, and write on one of your note cards what my radius is, how to find it, and what my equation is, either giving yourself an example or something like this. I probably will write this plus an example. All right, so the next one, we have to write the standard equation for the center of a circle. This is my center of a circle. So I already know that. What I have to find is the distance. How far away is it from the center to that point? So that means my radius is equal to the square root of, we're going to do x1 minus y1, 1 minus 2 squared, plus -3 minus 2 squared. This can be my x2s and y2s if you want. It doesn't matter which one you put first, as long as both of them are first. So now my radius is equal to the square root. 1 minus 2 is a -1, and -3 minus 2 is a -5. One more time and we'll get there. 2 more times maybe. Let's see. My radius is equal to the square root. -1 times -1 is a +1. And -5 times -5 is a +25. So my radius is equal to the square root of 26. Now that was a lot of work and we're still not done, but that's okay. We are going to now write it up as our x squared and y squared. So we've got x minus 1 squared plus y minus a negative 3 squared is equal to the square root of 26 squared. One more time, I promise you we'll be finished. We get to keep this x minus 1 squared plus y minus a negative 3. They become positive. Y plus 3 squared is equal to the square root of 26 times the square root of 26 is just 26. So that's our answer. Again, looks difficult, but is not difficult. So now you guys are going to practice, since we've practiced writing the equation of a circle, we've practiced, we should be very good at the distance formula. You guys are going to do B on your own, and you're going to push pause. And then once you've got the answer, you're going to check your answer against mine. So all I did was I wrote out how I found the distance, and then I plugged it in. Because both of these are positive, it was easy to plug in square root of 13 times the square root of 13. I'm assuming you know how to do that. So let's flip the page. Now we get to graph this. What we're looking for here when we graph is we're looking for where the center is and then the radius, okay? So first we're gonna find the center. My center is going to be at 7, -2, because remember, we're always looking for that negative. So it's gotta be at 7, and in order to get this plus, it's gotta be at -2. So that's my center. We are going to put that first onto our paper. So 7 here, -2 here. Then, in order for us to graph the radius, remember the radius is the square root of 64 or 8. The way we're going to do this doesn't need to be perfect. I'm going to count 8 in 4 directions from my point. I'm counting 8 this way. So that puts me at 15. I'm going to count this way. That puts me 8 is at 6. Let's see. 3. Oh, I can't see it with my old eyes. I'm going to count 8 this way. Puts me at -1. And I'm going to count 8 this way. Puts me at 10. -10. Looks like a diamond. Now connect the dots and make it circular. Doesn't need to be perfect. So what you should notice is you should be able to find your center now. You should have been able to find the radius. Once I plotted the center, I did in the X direction and in the Y direction. You are now going to plot this next one on your own, and then you're going to compare it to mine. All right, so I didn't connect my dots that well. No worries. Here's things that are important. I graphed it at 2, 3, to +2, +3. You should be able to see that my radius is 10, and then I did that. All right, our last one. For the last one, what you're going to do, you're going to do this. It's asking you, what is the equation for the circle? That's basically what it says. It says describe the position. So that's going to be your x minus 2 squared plus x minus 3 or y minus 3 squared. You're going to write the equation for circles A, B, and O. A, B, and O. That's what you're going to do. And then you're going to push pause and check in with me to make sure you have the right answers. After that, you guys are going to, you have homework. You have 11.5 that was on yesterday's work. You're going to do that, and it's all due tomorrow. I'll be checking it in then. So as you can see, I found the center of each one of these, and because they're all positive, then that means that they're all going to be negative. And then I found the radius, and we had to square each one of them. Now, my counting might be slightly off. If you found it 212, that's okay also. It'll be a little easier to read on your homework. Notice for C that because it's at 0, 0, x minus 0 is just x squared. So that's why it's x squared plus y squared. And then I found that that radius was 12. So you guys have homework to do. I will see you Friday. Have a fantastic day.